there are certain feelings that I feel like the older you grow, even though I'm not that old, but old enough to experience that, you stop being able to sort of experience them, or at least in specific contexts. So, for example, recently I saw this meme which was like, oh, how the sun shines in the last day of school. And it was this, orangey piercing through the windows. And you can kind of relate to the feeling that it kind of brings as spring is beginning and you know it's a long vacation ahead of you. And it was sort of a more maybe innocent excitement, and one that, especially if you get older and get a job and all these things, it kind of disappears. And to a certain extent, it's fine, certain things at certain moments, and we can't be reminiscing about the past all the time. But I noticed, especially more last year, that I'd grown more to, in a lot of ways, reminisce more about these feelings because my life had gotten to a point where it was very predictable. And it was like I woke up and I knew exactly what I was going to do, how it was going to go. And for something different to happen, it would be very rare. It would, in a lot of ways, everything was expected, everything was known. And it started feeling a bit as if the sort of vibrance and contrast and beauty of life stopped being as, contrasty and as relevant because I just got used to everything around me. And in a lot of ways, it felt as if, opposed to this last day of school where the colors seemed to shine brighter, it was the opposite. It seemed like almost this cloud was in front of the sun at all times, and something was sort of missing. Now, initially, one can attribute this to just, you have to grow up, and as you do so, the sort of freedom of youth is replaced with the responsibility of adulthood, and it's part of it because what you lose in that sort of freedom and excitement, you do gain in purpose and in meaning, and then service to others, of course. But in a lot of ways, it's very easy as well, as you see all around you older people, to just grow bitter with time and to get more angry at things and just be more upset at the news, and someone steps on your lawn, you're ultra upset right away. I also don't think that's ideal. I would say that's the opposite of wisdom. That's the opposite of growing old and wise. You just grow old and bitter. And as I've gotten in sort of this rhythm, and I noticed myself getting more like that, more upset at the news and things and like little problems that happened, it really started to feel like, well, this is just how it's gonna be, the time for excitement passed, and now it's just, whatever this is. But then I remember too, what kind of changed all of this was that my dad had gotten back into playing golf after a long time. And I don't know why, but I asked him, oh, can I go with you one time? Never played. And as I go, I hit some balls, and it's obviously going very bad because it's a difficult thing. And I promise it's not going to be about golf because I know it's boring. But, as I go through it, failing hitting the balls, it's not, I'm just there for the experience, for trying a new thing. But one of the shots, somehow, some way, beginner's luck, of course, but it connects just right. So I'm guessing it hit the center of the club at the right moment. And when that happens, it feels very effortless, as if like almost instead of you wasting energy, is sent back to you through the ball, through your hands. Now remember, as I hit it, and sort of the silence of the ball in the air replaces the one of the strike, I remember it's almost as if these gray clouds that were clouding my judgment, for a little brief moment at least, opened up. And I saw a little bit again of this excitement, of this, the sun shining bright on the last day of school sort of feeling. And I don't think it was because of golf or or that this specific context, this specific scenario, but more what it represented. And that is that in a life, and a lot of people have this, where everything is expected and every day is sort of the same, and that there's no adventure anymore, there's no excitement, there's no new feelings, nothing like that. To me, it just kind of gave me that, and also showed the opportunity for more of that, to be a beginner in something new, to a new world of possibility that just opened, because it's a difficult skill to, it's like a new pathway through life opened. And it allowed me, in a lot of ways, to be a beginner again, to start over something again, to get a bit of that joy, youthful joy once again. And I say all this, and I see my camera is almost dying, so I'm going to try to make this quick. But I say all of this because I know a lot of people are in this situation, and it doesn't take much to go around outside and look at people's faces to see that, you know, a lot of people are going to jobs they don't like in an existence that's always the same, always on repeat. And I just kind of what I'm trying to express here is that there is in so many different paths this opportunity for it to feel good again without having to quit your job, without having to, maybe even if you want to do that in the future, to just try something new. And obviously you can force it, you cannot force it. Oh my God, I have to sneeze. But regardless of that, one, if you're in that state, and I was, and the last thing you want when you're in that state is to search for something different. But I would really urge to search for it. And it doesn't really matter what it is, because for me it was golf. It could have been sculpting, could have been drawing, could have been painting, could have been playing football, could have been anything. But I would urge you not, if you have stopped searching for new things and you've, again, like your existence has become the same all day, every day, search for these things because one of them will click. And when it does, I think you're going to find, almost a relief that no, this feeling isn't gone. The magical experience of life is not gone, but we have to search for it and we have to sometimes be open to the unexpected and the unpredictability. And so if, I don't know, someone invites you to go, oh, I'm going to try surfing. Do you want to go? I would urge you to accept because you never know what that thing will be. And I believe as the more we go through life, the more one has to do that effort because then, the tendency is to have less friends and to have less change and difference in your life. So I do believe you start having to search more for those things. But again, if it all seems gray and cloudy and that the life's excitement is gone, I promise you it is not. We just have to go and find it.